It's you. Have the orders changed? I'm ready to move out as soon as you need. Oh. I figured you'd be using this time to sleep, since you didn't assign yourself nightwatch. When I saw you approach my outpost, I thought something was wrong. Huh. I'll be honest. Your reputation as the Ashen Demon preceded you when we first met at the academy. I still fall into the habit of thinking of you as a hollow figment rather than a person. I didn't expect you to have as normal of a struggle as pre-battle nightmares. Every night? If I dreamed about the same battle every night, I'd start to wonder if I were the reincarnation of some ancient saint or something. Makes sense you wouldn't get battle nerves anymore, though. I can't decide if I envy you or not there. Yeah, feel free to sit. You're quiet enough, you won't give us away. Me? Usually I meditate the night before a battle or a long campaign. I have to clear my thoughts and suppress my emotions before we draw swords. It's the only way to keep yourself alive. I'm sure you know that, though. Like I said, when we first met, I had this impression of you that you were blank. Almost like a mechanical doll someone built to fight like a demon. It's ridiculous, but meeting the legend in person and seeing firsthand how true the rumors were, it made the myths seem real. Especially when you were surrounded by the kids. All that emotion bubbling up around you, but never seeming to have an effect. It was easy to assume you just didn't have feelings. Yeah, I get that now. It seems silly in hindsight. Obviously, you always had emotions under the surface. You just suppressed them. You had to. What do you mean? None? No emotions before Garreg Mach? You're kidding. Seriously. That's... Well, I guess I sort of get it. A lot changed for me in the years I gave to the Knights. It makes sense that you'd change too, but to go from nothing to everything. Huh. I wonder how that feels. My changes? I don't know if you'd call them big or small. Guess it depends on perspective. For one thing, the work is a little different. Doubt I have to tell you how much of a shift it is, to go from groveling at nobles' feet just to get your paycheck, to being the one in charge of dragging them back to the church dungeons. I like that. We didn't really have anything like it in Dagda. Nah, I wouldn't say myth. I came from a poor family, which doesn't really inspire much in the way of pride for your nation. Left young, started doing mercenary work. At that point, I had as much loyalty to the specific regions as you did to any one kingdom of Fodlan. All of it was home, and none of it was. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on what it means to belong somewhere, both when I was a merc and with the Knights. I think for me, the take I've settled on is something like Catherine's. Home is wherever the warmest people, memories, and food are. For her, that's obviously Garreg Mach. For me, it changes. Well, think about it. People die. I know that's not really something to talk about when we're keeping watch for enemy scouts, but it's true. You're not superstitious, are you? Got it. My point was just that if you make people your home, eventually that home is going to move, or you're gonna have to find a new one. The only people who get to live their entire lives without losing a loved one are the people who die early. Obviously, I'm still here, when there aren't any other Dagdans around. You can do the math. I don't want to dwell on it. I just meant, in my line of work, home tends to move around. And whenever it does, you gain a new perspective. I wasn't around kids much before the Knights. Then, next thing I knew, I was training Cyril. We could spend all day debating whether I was the best fit for him, but at the end of the day, he was a devoted student. Now look at him. When I was his age, I was still getting too close for a sniper, and having to change course in the middle of every fight. There's no way I'd have been steady in a wyvern saddle. Doubt I could do it now, to be honest. Maybe it's because I taught him, but it's fascinating to see how differently he's grown compared to me. Neither. I like where I ended up, and I like what he's doing. There's not a right or wrong way to go about it. But being adults, looking at how far the kids have come and where they've set their goals, it gives us a glimpse at the future of Fodlan. Of course. No one should be more proud of them than their teacher. I still can't believe you let them call you professor all these years later. Cyril has always just called me by name. But if he did call me teacher, I'd want him to drop it by now. We're co-workers at this point. Living in the past has never really been for me. For one thing, it's dangerous. You'll get so caught up in those emotions, you stop seeing what's in front of you. It also doesn't serve you. No matter how much you think about the past, it doesn't change anything. No amount of regret or nostalgia can undo what's already happened. I prefer looking at what's ahead of me. Living this kind of life for a while, you start to get a feel for when a chapter is closing, and when you should start looking for your next move. The winding down of a war is a pretty obvious closing. No matter where the chips fall, nothing is the same after that. If we lose, there will be hell to pay and a lot of scrambling to get by. And if we win, we'll be busy building a brand new world. We might not even need the Knights of Saros anymore. I'm not going to plan my life around them. I was thinking I'd plan around you. If you're gone, then it'll be a lot of scrambling anyway. Hard to predict all that. But if you're still around when all this is over, I'll see what you need doing. If you're good, then I'll probably start making my rounds as a merc again. There'll be plenty of work for us out there, after all. And I'm not ready to leave Fodlan just yet. If you need me, then I'll stay. You've earned my vote by now.